Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders Picks here, and we are back as of today, April 9th, 2021. It is a Friday, so happy payday to those guys out there getting paid today. But I did just want to go ahead and apologize for yesterday. I will throw a clip up here in a second, but right in the middle of making my video, I literally finished the entire video, and in the middle of in the middle of the second clip, my internet completely shut out. I recently moved out to the country, probably I'd say about, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, regardless. And moved out here, and the Wi-Fi is completely atrocious. So, but we are back today. It looks like everything is up and running. Everything looks good. So, it's probably a good thing that my video didn't get uploaded yesterday because I went 2 and 2. I'll go ahead and pull that up real quick in regards to the picks that I had. So, yesterday I know for sure I bet on the Bulls money line. So that one you would have won. I knew that the Bulls were gonna win. They're just a way better team. I mean, Chris Boucher tried to do it all, 38 and 19, but the Raptors were heavily injured. They had a lot of players that were down. Van Fleet, which is their main scorer, Lowry, which is their main distributor. So that game I ended up winning that bet. The next game that I bet on was the Jazz to cover. I think it was 5.5. So they ended up doing that as well. So you would have won there. But these two late night hammers, you guys would have lost on. I actually had the Suns plus 5.5. I thought for sure that they would keep it close. I honestly thought they might even win. To be completely honest with you, I thought the Suns would probably win that game. So I goofed up on that one. And the Pistons decided to play some of the best basketball in their entire life, and the Kings the exact opposite. So, and I bet the Kings to cover their spread. They were favored by 3 or something. So that one was, a mess up too. So you would have literally broke even if you would have followed me yesterday. But you know what? That happens. We're on to the next day, of course. So today, like I said, is Friday. So this first game, like I've been preaching about Indiana all year, if Sabonis and Brogdon are in, go for it. The Indiana should win by way more than just 5. Way more. Probably double digits more. So if they're in, go for it. Hammer that. If you want to put 2 units down on it, go for it. But other than that, I'm not betting on that game. Next game is Memphis and New York. Memphis is 1.5-point favorites. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like even though Memphis has played pretty well this year, I just feel like New York's probably the better team. Just from top to bottom. I don't know. It's close though. That's probably why that is obviously why the line is so close. I wouldn't feel confident one way or the other, so I'm not going to give you a pick. But if I had to choose one, yeah, I'd say Memphis probably covers that -1.5. Let's take a look at injuries real quick. Let's see. So Brandon Clark is doubtful. D'Anthony Melton's out. Justice Winslow's out. So let's see. So they still have pretty much the same starting 5. They still have they threw in Grayson Allen. I don't know if he's been starting all year or not. They still have Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Joe Val. Still have Tillman off the bench, Tyus Jones, Jonte Porter, Desmond Bane. So that looks like a full squad there. Let's take a look at New York, see if they have anything real quick. So Henson is the only one that's out, other than Mitchell Robinson, of course. They look fully healthy. I gotta be honest. I don't know. That makes me a little nervous, but it might be wise to bet money line on the Knicks. The Knicks have not been I shouldn't have clicked off that. They have not been a bad team at all this year. So as soon as it loads, give me a second. So they kept it close with Boston, who's a good team. They kept it within 2 to Brooklyn. They smacked Detroit. They lost by 13 to Dallas. They lost by literally 1 to Minnesota, and that was the night that everyone off Minnesota was just red hot. They beat Milwaukee. They beat Washington twice. And then they lost to Philly in overtime by 1. I got to be honest. Okay, I'm changing everything that I just said. I like New York a lot there. I think I'm even going to take money line. I bet money line is plus odds. Oh yeah, plus 102. I'm taking the New York Knicks money line. I really am. That'll probably be like if I had to do a 1 out of 5 star scale, I'd probably do like a 3.5 star on that one. Not super confident, but I do like the pick. I'm staying away from this game. That spread's too high for me. Boston hasn't been very good against the spread. Minnesota has been. Let's see. So against the spread this year, let's see. Against the spread, they've been about 500, and Boston against the spread is about 500. Okay. So it's tough. I will not be betting this game. I don't like it. Minnesota can get red hot at any moment. They can, put up 130 points if they want to. So I don't like that at all. I'm staying away from that game completely. I'll take a look at the total real quick. So 228. That's probably right where it should be. Both teams are pretty good scoring teams. So no, I'm not betting this game in any way, shape, or form. Next game, Chicago versus Atlanta. Call me a personal bias, but I am taking the Chicago Bulls money line, and I'm sure that it is plus odds on pretty much every betting website. Yep, plus 110. That is phenomenal odds. Trust me on this, you guys. Please trust me on this. Take the Chicago money line. Chicago has absolutely no one that is even remotely useful out. The only players we have out are Adam Makoka, who doesn't even play anymore since we made those trades. Devin Dotson, who could be a good rookie in the future, or a good young player in the future, but for right now, no shot at playing. And Garrett Temple, who he has a semi-decent role, but for the most part, he's not really that big of a deal either. So they have no one out, all right? They are red hot. They have won the last 3 games outright. They beat Toronto, they beat Indiana, they beat Brooklyn, and then even when they were trying to figure everything out in this game against Utah, they only lost by 7. And the Chicago didn't have Troy Brown Jr., they didn't have Archie, so I mean, they were trying to get it all figured out. I thought Kobe White was out for this game, but he must not have been, obviously. But he didn't play very well anyway. So trust me on this, you guys. Please, please, please trust me on this. We will take a look at Atlanta here in a second, but I'm pretty sure they're dealing with some injuries. Yeah, Gallinari. Oh, they're all questionable. So keep an eye out on this, of course. But Gallinari is questionable. Capella is questionable. But DeAndre Hunter is for sure out. John Collins is for sure out. Chris Dunn is for sure out. And Cam Reddish is for sure out. So this was their starters: Trae Young, Bogey, Kevin Huerter, Solomon Hill, and the rookie Onyeka Okongwu. With off the benches, Brandon Goodwin, Nathan Knight, Skylar Mays, Bruno Fernando, Tony Snell. Dude, please trust me on this one, you guys. And Atlanta just got absolutely pounded by Memphis, and the Bulls are actually a very solid basketball team. So if you want a steal and plus odds today, take Chicago plus 3. I feel like money line, whichever one. I'm taking money line. I think that they'll win this outright. I think that they will continue to 4 straight wins in a row. I just love Chicago in this instance. I think it matches up perfectly. Vucevic is a monster, and we all know that. And now, if Clint Capella is out, Vucevic could have 30 in this game. Like, and they're not going to be able to put anyone in there to stop him. Onyeka Okongwu is young, and he's not going to understand, the ways of Vucevic. Like, he's just going to tear him up. So, that is going to be my 5-star play of the day for sure. Chicago money line. Next game is Philadelphia, 7.5-point favorites over New Orleans. I think New Orleans, Lonzo Ball's out, or he's questionable, but he'll probably sit. Brandon Ingram is out for sure, unfortunately. Kira Lewis Jr. is questionable, and so is Jackson Hayes. Yeah. I don't like that game. I don't. Is Embiid fully healthy? Like, is he for sure playing? Okay. You know what? 7.5. Yeah, that's a good spread then. If you can get it at -6, hammer Philadelphia, because I think that they should win and cover that by a long shot. So, yeah. If that's the case, take Philadelphia. Because there's not going to be... Steven Adams is not going to be able to stop Embiid, first of all. And the only scorer on New Orleans, if Lonzo Ball is truly out, is really going to be Zion. And no. So I'm taking Philadelphia minus whatever. I feel like they should win that by a decent margin. New Orleans kept it close in the first half against Brooklyn, but then ended up getting blown out. So I think it'll kind of be a similar type of game here. So everyone's been raving about this game, the Spurs and Denver, but Denver just played the Spurs and won by 10. So everyone is saying that they think San Antonio is going to win and cover, and I understand that, a lot of times it is hard to beat the same team twice in a row. But Denver is a solid team. I know we have to wait on Jamal Murray news because he's questionable. But that just doesn't make sense to me. Like that literally just... I'm so confused. Like, they have the MVP, and the Spurs have no one to stop him. They now have Aaron Gordon, who's a very good player. They have Michael Porter Jr., who's a rising star. They're probably not in the West, but they're like pretty high up there in the West in like rankings. So I just don't understand. I don't understand why. So for me, I'm taking Denver to win and cover, especially if it's -6.5. I'm for sure gonna do that. So I don't know. I must just be the only player the only person in the world who doesn't like San Antonio tonight, and I'll take that. But I just don't. I don't understand. Maybe I just need someone to explain it to me, because I just don't like. I don't like that matchup whatsoever, and I think Denver should probably, especially now after having a game under their belt, know how they play, and I think it'll just be even more of a blowout. So I don't like that. But whatever. Next is Charlotte Hornets versus the Bucks. Once again, like I've been preaching all year, if Giannis plays, hammer that money line or hammer that spread. If Giannis doesn't play, just leave it alone, because 8.5 is definitely coverable. But it's definitely coverable. But without Giannis, that might be a tough task. So I don't know. Excuse me. So, yeah, like I said, without Giannis, that'll be a tough task. And, yeah, I don't know why I'm still sitting here thinking about it, but, yeah, it would just be way too tough of a task, I think, if Giannis doesn't play. Even though Milwaukee is still a solid team, they would need that star power to be able to make it a double-digit game, at least in my opinion. So the late night hammers for tonight are Washington and Golden State. Golden State is 5-point favorites. That one's a tough one. Because to my knowledge, I think Bradley Beal's back. Yeah, he's probable, so he should probably play. Hachimura is questionable, but they will have Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal out there against a Warriors team. I don't know. Let's see what everyone else is putting their money on. Let's see. It's pretty close. But a lot of people have Golden State covering that -4.5. Let's take a look at the line movement real quick. So Washington is actually like, so everyone's like, yeah, literally everyone is hammering Golden State. Wow. I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't like that game. I really don't. But if I had to pick a side, I mean, Washington has been very, very bad this year. Very bad. And I saw what Golden State did against my Bulls, and yeah, I would take Golden State. Golden State -5. That one's a tough one for me, but that is what I'll be taking. The final game of the night. It's going to be a terrible game to watch. Houston versus the Clippers. I got to be honest. Houston has been phenomenal against the spread. I mean, they beat Dallas outright. They were 14-point dogs to Phoenix and lost by 3. They only lost to New Orleans by 7. They did get blown out by Boston. They only lost by 12 to Brooklyn. And they only lost to Memphis by 10. So, I mean, they've covered. They have covered quite a good margin. And they're on a little tear right now. So 13.5 might be too big of a number. I think I'm going to take that spread if 13.5 is still available on my sportsbook. But if it is, that might be one I'm looking at. So I'll just do a quick recap for you guys. For sure, my best play of the day, Chicago money line. Don't think twice about it. I like that one a lot. I like Philadelphia minus the 7.5. I like the Denver minus 6.5. And then the last two that I'm going to bet on, but I don't feel 100% confident in, Golden State -5 and Houston plus 13.5. So that's going to do it for me, you guys. I hope that you guys did enjoy today's video. Actually, I want to take a look at one last thing. For that Golden State game, 238.5, that might be one that I would want to bet. So that's like what, one. It's like, so if each team scores 120 points, they would cover. And the let's take a look real quick at Wizards. I think they do that almost every game. 131. That game must have been a bad game. 87, 91, 104. Okay, definitely was thinking about betting that over, but I'm definitely not going to anymore. Okay, sorry for rambling on. Just wanted to double check everything, but. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. If you guys are tailing me on any of my picks, make sure to let me know down below which ones you're tailing me on. But yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow on April 10th. And I'm sorry about the video yesterday. I hope that you guys still won. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This is King Sanders Picks signing out. Peace.